clicked it, which usually means we're live for sure now.
What's going on, everyone? It's Adam and Craig with Grandstand Golf. This is our round 4 DFS Showdown targets for the 2021 Arnold Palmer Invitational. Craig, it was a crazy Saturday of golf. We had Spieth with a bunker shot, but a hole-in-one. Jazzy J with a hole-in-one. We had Bryson taking pretty close aim at that
It,
green on 6.
it was
What,
just
what was your
crazy.
favorite moment?
Sorry, what was my favorite moment?
Yeah, what was your favorite moment? It was crazy. I agree.
My favorite moment was probably when I had my little puppy was just pestering me to go outside and play with him. And so I went around and I was chipping balls and he would chase him around and stuff. But I knew Bryson was coming towards 6. And so I was like,
Yeah.
oh, like I gotta get back inside. I got back in like and everything was just blowing up like it had just happened and I'd missed it. And I was like trying to jump back on my TV, but I couldn't jump back far enough. So yeah, my
Oh,
favorite
that's
moment
devastating.
was a moment I missed actually, I think.
Yeah.
So it was fun once I caught up and saw what happened and stuff.
It was cool. Thank you everybody for joining us. I agree with Steven. I hope everybody was winners today as well. Jazz was a great moment. That ball was humming along when it hit that pin there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean Bryson, it was cool. I mean, I hate him, love him, feel indifferent about him. I don't think many people feel indifferent about him, but he gets eyeballs, man, and he's interesting, and he does it his own way. You got to respect somebody that does it their way.
You know I respect people that do it their own way because that's how I've
Yeah,
always been myself.
because that's how you are.
Yeah. Um, Yeah, so I mean the leaderboard though. Another thing I'd love to see was Lee Westy working his way up the leaderboard because he gets a lot of flack for how he plays in the states.
Yeah.
He's someone you've been talking about for a little while that his form has been much better, I think, than people appreciate. And yeah, so that's something I'd love to see. Fleetwood is another guy I like to see. I didn't love to see Rory fade at the end of the day, and I mean he just
No.
didn't quite
Yeah.
have it throughout the day. But
Yeah.
but then really he missed an eagle putt, and then he made a bad bogey. Um,
I think all those guys though are within striking distance still.
yeah, I think so too. We'll get into the weather, but it looks like it's not going to be an easy day. So I think it's really that to me opens things up because big numbers can be made in a hurry.
Yeah.
Another one I think that we got to mention is Terrell Hatton. He barely made the
Oh
cut
yeah.
in this tournament, and now is probably playing himself into the top 10 here when it's all said and done.
Yeah. People had forgotten about him on Thursday. By Thursday night, they had already discounted kind of their lineups with him, and he is basically top 10 right now.
Yeah,
Doug Gim, incredible round. One
yeah.
round too late. I mean, one of your sleepers, but one round too late for me
I
for
was
my
still plugging them
showdown.
in. So Gim and Westwood. I ended up down. I was negative on my Thursday or sorry my round 3 showdowns, but Gim and
Yeah.
Westwood saved it from being a lot worse than it was because I had
Yeah.
Ricky exposure, I had Justin Rose exposure, I had
Oh.
Bobby McIntyre exposure who put
Yeah.
one OB on his first shot. So yeah, those two definitely earned a spot in my heart today.
What's going on, Bert? Thanks for joining us. Barry, I am keeping a closer eye on Hoffman than I expect to do this tournament. I
One of the
like the
things that's fun
reminders.
for us too is we've got all our one and done picks are at -6 and -5, so it's going to be tight.
Yeah, we got Kevin has Hatton, I got Bez, and you got Fitzpatrick all within one stroke.
Mhm.
It's gonna be a good finish. Um, I don't think we've talked about Keegan yet.
Yeah, I mean Keegan, take her away.
I mean, I can't believe he's gonna be in like the third or fourth last group teeing up tomorrow, maybe second last. Yeah, I think he is with Connors actually.
Yeah, I think he's in second
Um,
last.
second last group, Keegan Bradley is in it. I can't believe it. I mean, you gotta
Well,
get.
you can
I mean,
believe it. You saw this coming.
I totally saw it coming. I knew that this was gonna be the 1 week each year that he has strong putting. Absolutely saw it coming. No, I mean, it's laughable. He could fully eject tomorrow, or he could absolutely contend.
Yeah,
Like
for sure. Well, you said it in the sleeper video that his tee to green game is good enough
he's
to
the number one
compete. So if he
number one
gets
approach player coming in.
if he gets the putter hot, then anything can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jazzy J, that's been a good story. I mean, that hole in one, that that thing was humming. If that didn't hit
Yeah.
the pin
Yeah.
right square,
Yeah.
it would have clattered off pretty easily. Okay, should we move forward?
Yeah, classy lead. Well, we'll talk about our pick at the end, right? Pick to win
Yes. Yeah.
and win
Yeah.
and score. Okay, pick to win and score. Yeah, so looking back at the tournament so far, looking ahead at round 4, so over par about 1 in round 1 and 2. Round 3, minus 1.12. Craig's shaking his head. I don't know what about. Our Grandstand Golf picks for yesterday, not
What
great.
happened? So,
I'm going to,
I mean, I know Bobby Mack definitely didn't show up.
Kevin Na, and
Mm.
Casey was even par. Like my picks kind of
I was gonna say because
stunk it up.
Hatton and Fleetwood, they got her done.
Yeah, you carried it. I
Oh,
know.
we had the
So
British Isle thing right. We just had to go to the right places on the island.
I forgot about Lee. But yeah, better ones coming. I feel like maybe just play my picks a day late
Yeah,
too. Maybe that's the secret because Tringali, Gim, and Bryson all look good.
yeah.
So for tomorrow, drafting finishing points, obviously that's something to be aware of. But looking at low rounds, I think this is something to keep an eye on. You know, how far can these players possibly move up? What have been the low rounds? It's actually improved each day. So we have 2 at 6 under on the first day, 1 at 7 under on Friday, and then Keegan Bradley won 8 under today. If I had to guess, I don't think anyone goes that low
No, not
tomorrow.
at all. I think maybe 4 under is the lowest we get tomorrow. Maybe someone gets 5. I don't think anyone gets to 6.
I think 5 and
I
6 are
mean,
still in play.
assuming so, it was supposed to get super windy today, and it didn't happen. They were talking,
Yeah,
the players were talking about it, how they had planned as if it was going to be a brutal wind day, and it just didn't
yeah.
show up. And it looks worse tomorrow. Supposedly, some of these big gusts are hitting overnight, but throughout the day tomorrow, it looks like it's going to be windy. So
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting there. So you can see kind of that bottom number starting with 30 is the gusts. So the gusts are bigger in the morning, but then the sustained wind looks to be a little bit bigger in the afternoon or around noon.
yeah, I mean,
Any strategy?
I'm not playing sides of the field as far as weather goes. I'm just playing more. I'm counting on wind players and scoring being affected
Yeah,
by it. You know, so
yeah,
plug in your Russell Knoxes essentially.
yeah. Any other strategies going into Sunday
Sorry, you
specifically?
froze on
I
me.
feel like I'm
Any
freezing
other
up.
strategies going
Yeah,
into? I mean, I think that there's a little bit more spread out chalk than we sometimes get on Sundays because, I mean, Rory will still attract some ownership, but not
yeah,
tons. Bryson will
yeah,
obviously attract lots. Spieth will attract lots. But I think there's going to spread. I mean, Westwood's going to be super chalky. Westwood will be probably the highest owned guy on the
he's high
slate.
sevens, I want to, or like
I would say like mid,
76.
yeah, like 75,
Yeah,
76, and up
yeah,
from 7,000, which is a steal of a deal today. But yeah, so he'll be chalky. Everyone else I think has been up. Gim, I guess, will also be fairly chalky. But
yeah,
who am I thinking? Um, Corey Connors is at this point his price
for
is
sure.
reflecting his score. So those guys we've seen their prices go up, so it won't
Yeah,
attract the same ownership as if he was in the high sevens, say.
yeah. Okay, before jumping in, thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you for watching after the fact. We love doing these videos. Hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you have not yet already. Also, we're going to be doing a tons of players content. Our players preview is already out, but subscribe because we got a lot of good stuff coming this week
And
ahead.
also, Hayden, don't tell us how you were playing in Florida. Do you know what we're doing up here in Canada? We're still shoveling snow and stuff.
You know
No,
what?
that's awesome.
Yeah,
From what I was looking at, I was trying to figure out what happened to the wind that was supposed to hit today, and it looks like it was windy in the evening, right? You know, right after these guys had finished playing, that the wind really
and
did pick up
it was still a little bit windy. I mean, it
at
just
times,
wasn't.
but
I don't think
not
they had the
what,
gusts.
yeah, not what we expected.
Okay, jump into it.
Good to go. You're up.
Let's do it. First one. I'm sorry, guys. I usually don't go super chalky. I'm going to talk about Bryson. He's my first pick. Why? Because when I looked up here, I'm like, who am I going to play? I'm going to play Bryson. So I'm going to talk about Bryson. 10,200 on DraftKings. We know what he's done. 67, 71, 68. He's 10 under, tied for second, 16 birdies, 6 bogeys. Great off the tee, pretty damn good on approach. His putting actually could get better. I wouldn't be surprised if he had a better putting round as the tournament went along, and then that obviously includes Sunday. But basically, at least 4 birdies each day. Highest floor out there. I think like he can score on 4 par 5s. He can score He can score on these other holes. He has, higher lofted clubs going in. He also has the highest ceiling. I think he's
Well, I think
probably the
with
favorite.
regards to the floor, like he hasn't actually been playing his best every day out there. It's just
No.
his floor is so high because he makes scoring opportunities happen just by the nature of how he plays.
And even the 71, like I said, he's got at least 4 birdies each day. So
Mhm.
he gets those DraftKings points. Like it might not translate all the time to real golf. He'll finish at 72 under, but that might be with like 8 birdies and 6 bogeys, like something completely ridiculous. We don't
Yeah.
know, but he gets you those points. I'm going to eat the chalk. I'm going to talk about pivots later on, but up top, I'm playing Bryson. I know he's going to be chalk. He's going to be over 50% owned probably. I'm playing him.
Yeah, I think one of the most interesting ones to me about Bryson, everyone talks about the tee ball on 6, but the one out of the rough on 18, he hit that
Yeah.
shot, he went at it with whatever club
Yeah.
that was, and he said something like, that's why you like, that's what the strength is about, and that's
That's
exactly
straight
it.
foot right there,
That's what I had been trying to hammer home, is he essentially saw what Brooks was doing at these US Open courses where the rough was so
Yeah.
thick, and he was the
Yeah.
only one who was strong enough to get the club head through with these high lofted clubs, and really, like, it gives you such a disproportionate advantage with this
Yeah.
strength, that they've let this rough go all week. If it's going to be windier, if conditions are harder, he played well in the wind at the US Open. I see no reason that he's
Yeah.
going to struggle just because, we think of him as like the towering
Yeah.
bombs. I think he's going
Yeah.
to do pretty darn well even in a tough day.
We know the scientists can adjust for that.
Yeah. Okay, my first one here, I'm going Matty Fitzpatrick, 9,500. He is also my one and done pick, so take with a grain of salt that there
I
might
was
be
gonna say
emotion
a
involved.
little asterisk there for sure.
Yeah, but he's got 69, 71, 71. He's -5, tied for 18th. 11 birdies, 4 bogeys, 1 double. Obviously, he's done a lot with his putter. That's pretty par for the course for him. He always does that. He's had
Yeah.
a pretty good driver though as well. One of the things I do think with those strokes gained putting, sometimes you'd look at that and you'd be like, oh, he's gained almost 5 strokes with his putter. That's not sustainable. Matty Fitzpatrick is a good putter. Like, we know
Yeah.
this. But
Yeah.
it's not like he had one round where he just dropped bombs. He's gained at least 1.3 strokes each round with his putter. So he's just putting well.
Yeah.
I think the other thing, remember back to that very tough day at Genesis when it was very windy? He gained
For sure.
4.3 strokes that day. So I think he is one of these guys that, I mean,
He came out of nowhere and it kind of lapped the field on that. Was it round 3? It was kind of weird because
it
they
was
didn't
round
quite
3, but it
finish.
bridged into Sunday
Yeah.
morning. I mean, I think he's comfortable in the wind is the long and short of
Yeah.
it. Last thing, there's a reason I'm picking for my one and done. I think he was in good form coming in. I think he's a good course fit. He's been top 10 here the last 2 years. To me, all signs point to him working his way up the leaderboard. I think there's
Yeah.
some of my plays I'll probably start with him, and then some of my plays I think I might have him as the second guy in.
Yeah. I mean, I seem to be always underway on Fitzpatrick, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just kind of you lean to ball strikers. Playing Keegan Bradley and Sergio, clearly I have a bias for ball strikers a little
But
bit.
Ricky Fowler?
Yeah, Ricky Fowler. Let's not talk about that. But yeah, it translates to a good score. He's 5 under. He's T18. He's not too far up the leaderboard that he's going to be chalky, but he's also high enough priced that's going to counteract that. So it's a good kind of sneaky play. I completely buy into the win thing as well. He's just a steady, good performer.
Yeah. Now for that theory to work, the wind actually has to show up tomorrow. I said a whole bunch of things about wind players yesterday, and then the wind didn't
Yeah,
show up, and so it didn't quite translate. But um, yeah, I think
we're going off the knowledge we know right now.
Oh, and let's jump into your next one.
Hideki Matsuyama, 8,300 on DraftKings. One of my first pivots for Sunday. I really like this play. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's way too underpriced. I think he's kind of got price bias from his round 1, but so he went 75, 70, 69. He even battled back to get that 75 a little bit. He's -3, T35, 1 eagle, 11 birdies, 9 bogeys, 1 double. Like a little bit, he's all over the place. How's he done it? His approach has been pretty good. He's 18th there. 40th and 45th off the tee and around the green, and then putting is just under kind of 0, 53rd there. That's to be expected. But here's the thing. Let's forget that 75 for a second. Let's forget even the first nine holes he played for this tournament. Sorry, I feel like I'm lagging, so I'm just catching up. Yeah. He has gained 4.39 strokes ball striking, approach and off the tee over the last 2 rounds. So break that into 2 rounds. That's a stroke off the tee, a stroke approach each round. Like, he's hitting the ball really well for that 70 and 69. I see no reason for that to not continue into Sunday and for him to kind of creep up the leaderboard.
Yep, I've been playing him. I don't think I was able to plug him into my tourney lawns because of the approach I took, but I've been playing him every showdown. I'm going to keep doing it. I think
and I think he's a good win player as well.
I mean, I just think him at 8,300. I played him last week as well when his price was low eights. Obviously, it's different field strength, but it just makes tons of sense. I'll take the chance that he goes and shoots an outlier round. I mean, he'll work his way up the finishing position board, but he has such a high probability of having good rounds that, it's kind of a no-brainer to me to plug in some Hideki at this price.
Yeah.
And another one I think that's similar is my next pick, Jason Day, 8,500. He went 70, 72, 68. He's -6, tied for 11th, 13 birdies, 3 bogeys, and 2 doubles. Both of those doubles came in his second round, 72. He is tied for first in bogeys made. Now, that doesn't mean he's made the most. Like, he's tied for first. It's not something you're trying to... It's like golf. You're looking for a low number here. Yes, he has made the 2 doubles, but there's only 5 holes where he's really, like, screwed up.
Let's talk about those doubles, too. He got bad luck with that ball in the nest.
Ball in the tree.
That's just pure bad luck. And then the other one, I'm scratching my head on Friday.
He got above the hole in a greenside bunker and then played back across and then failed to go up and down. Yeah,
not Jason Day like he typically
not at all. And I think in large part why his around the green is negative right now. His numbers are actually what you would want to see from someone scoring, except typically he's a very strong approach player and he's a very strong player around the green. But he's third off the tee and his putting's been good. So, Jason Day has a really good history at this course, aside from the fact that he's withdrawn with back injuries. So ignore those. When he actually does play and finish tournaments and finish rounds, he does well. I just think, to me, if you turn that 72, like that 72 could have easily been a 70. It could have, more likely, the way he was playing, it could have been a 68. So he could be very much in contention, and I think you're just getting him at a really good price for where he is. He may end up being a little bit chalky, so don't combine him with just other plays, but to me, there's value there.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, he was kind of on my short list for today because I thought people would look at that 72 and not know the full story. I mean, we saw him with the binoculars looking into the tree, and that went all over the internet. But his scoring, he's playing better than his score, I feel like, almost indicates. And
when he was coming into the round today at -2, it was like, he's played better than to be at -2.
Yeah. And even in that round where he got 72, like I feel like he responded well to that and answered that pretty well. I like to play.
And also, if weather gets up, I like him in weather too.
100%. Completely agree. Okay. So, Craig, you went there. I was gonna build it up a little bit.
Okay.
So I gave you Bryson. I needed to get weird. I feel like I'm going back to our weird Wednesdays. I needed to get weird with a pick here. I need to go completely off the board. Even Craig was like, "What are you doing here?" I'm gonna play this guy tomorrow. If you want to play him, I'll tell you why I think he's a good play. But if not, I completely understand it as well. But this is how you get unique in GPPs. This is my GPP play for tomorrow. And this is who I'm going to play. Tyler Duncan, 6,400. He's gone 72, 72, 71. He's 1 under. He's T42. He's going to get absolutely no attention. He has 1 eagle, 7 birdies, 5 bogeys, 1 triple. His triple was today, so he could have had a much better round. He's losing a ton of strokes putting, 3.77. He's 69th. Around the green, very average. Off the tee, not great. His approach play is ridiculous good. Plus 6.17. He's second in the field. I mean, who does this remind you of? Maybe like a Keegan Bradley. Like these, sorry, but like these ball strikers, they can pop off at any moment. And I feel like Tyler Duncan at T42 be that person that goes out and is like, why did like of course Tyler Duncan is 1.2% owned in this GPP and he's 5 under right now. But he could also not. But that's the risk I'm taking. He's a strong win player. I think he won RSM in win. He's from Florida. He's from the Jacksonville area. He'll be completely minimal. This is my little golden nugget I'm playing tomorrow.
Do you know, I'm just trying to find it here. Do you know how his triple happened?
Yeah, it was a 7 on 8. So he went in the water and then he went in the back bunker. And the back bunker, I think he was close. That's where the pin was. He couldn't stop it short of the pin, rolled out.
So basically he didn't par 4 dog leg with water in front of the green.
Yeah, so he made a complete mess of it.
Yeah.
That's where Jordan today was like just short of the water, like that hole there. So he made a mess with it around the green. He made a mess of it, but he still was 1 under today. And like compared to a lot of people in the area, this is better. And his ball striking is way better than those other guys.
Well, and it's impressive because it was his second shot he put in the water there. Yeah. So that approach could easily be another stroke at least better. So
I did have a quote pulled up about like when the wind picks up, it like favors ball strikers and like that he kind of like builds some confidence from it. And I think this was after the RSM or maybe a Texas event. I'm not sure, but I like it. It's going to be sneaky. It could completely blow up in my face, but that's what I'm looking for a GPP.
Well, that's the thing. If you want to play chalk, you have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
And that's why I felt okay picking Bryson at the top.
Yeah. Okay, my last one here. I can't even remember who it is, so I'm going to flip to it. Oh, yeah, Kevin Kisner, 7,100. I love this play. Great pick, Craig. He's gone 73, 72, 67. He's -4, tied for 22nd. 13 birdies, 7 bogeys, 1 double. He's done a lot of it with his putter. Fairly mediocre ball striking stats. I don't really care, to be honest, how he's done it so far. I think that if it gets windy, he is a very strong wind player. If you look up Kevin Kisner, you'll find instructional videos of him teaching you how to hit this nice low draw in the wind. The other thing that I feel like makes this a play to me, so there's 2 things. First off, he's an SEC guy. He's from South Carolina. He went to Georgia.
Okay, I was gonna say I know he's a Bulldog or
Okay. He's part of the. He went. Brendan Todd and Chris Kirk. He was part of I want to say they won the championship. Well, I don't remember that for sure, but I know he was with them at Georgia. But he's been playing on Bermuda his whole life, which is one of the things I like is if I'm going to play guys who are short game guys and are putters, I want it to be on the type of surface that they are at their best on. Same thing I was saying with Billy Horschel last week, that if he's a good putter, but I don't necessarily want to play him on surfaces that he's not a good putter on. So Kisner skipped the whole West Coast swing. He wanted to play in Florida. I think he's going to work his way. He is happy to get tied for 20th in some events, but I think this is one of these ones where he wants to work his way up into the top 10 and earn a paycheck. I think he's going to do that. To me, he started the week at 8,000 priced, so it's just 7,100 just screams value.
100% value. Yeah.
I think this one seems like a no-brainer to me. I don't know why his price got as low as it did.
The chat is blowing up. Everyone loves your Kisner play. Apparently Kisner's going to be chalky tomorrow, but I like it as well. He was on my short list. His play today was great. I completely agree about the win, about the area, Bermuda, all that. Price seems ridiculous. I completely agree. Throw any questions you want in the chat. Anything else? Adam, why Duncan? I don't care. Myron says Lee Westwood. This is a great question because this is tearing at my heart right now. Lee Westwood is going to be chalky again at the Masters. He's like always my favorite fifth guy in the lineups for DFS for the Masters because he's so solid there and even at the November Masters, I was like, slow down on the European Tour a little bit. Slow down.
I still don't think it'll be as chalky as it deserves, though.
It's hard to play him because I don't know if you really can expect a surprise win. But at the Masters, you don't from guys in the low 7s anyway.
But I think he's a lock for a top 5, right?
Yeah, complete lock for a top 5.
So one of the things I was going to say real quick on the strategy front that I'm going to do with at least a single ticket. So we've got Chalk. Where's Westwood? He's mid sevens, I want to say. So I'm gonna plug him in and a few other chalky plays along with Victor Hovland because I think Victor Hovland is going to
I like
be
it.
super low owned. He went out and shot a 77 today. He still costs almost as much as Rory. He's above Bryson. Like he's going to have, I would say, probably single digit ownership tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I think it's just one of those things you can do to if you do like Westy's chance to win it tomorrow and you want to play some tickets with him, that's a good way to put in something that's a little bit different because everyone's going to try to put in Bryson and Westwood together, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I really like it. Where we're gonna. So we want to talk about Bryson. Bryson not locked to win.
I don't think he's a lock to win by any means.
I don't
I
think he's.
think he's probably well, he's definitely the favorite, I would
He's
think.
definitely the favorite. I don't think he's a lock to win at all. I
No, I
think
mean, he's probably
it's
still
more than
less.
likely that he doesn't win.
Yeah, he's probably
Um,
less than 30-40% ish, I would say.
I think Jordan Spieth is still very scary on that leaderboard. I mean, still same with Connors. Bless you.
Thank you. Jordan Smith, I don't understand how it happens.
It's
Like,
not sustainable. It's crazy. I don't know. I don't know either.
like, did you see that? What was it, 16? That bunker shot he hit that was so fat. Or I don't even
Yeah.
think it was fat, but it like I think he might have caught it high on the face, and he was so short that he was short of the hazard he was trying to play over.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just those things seem to happen to Spieth, and yeah, I just can't understand it sometimes.
A couple questions from Devonte, Grace, and Grio. Grace was a pick for Puerto Rico because of the wind. He played great today. I think he might be a little bit more highly owned tomorrow.
Yeah, but I
Um,
think that's fine.
but it makes sense. I like Grio a lot. Grio, I looked at quite a bit before our show to see if
And
I could fit him
I
in
don't
as a
know if
pick.
it was you, Devonte, but someone brought him up. I want to say either in the chat or maybe it was over on Discord, but someone was hyping him going into the round today. And then I saw he had a -3 or 4 today. And
Yeah, he played really well, I think.
what he left, I mean, classic Griot, he left strokes out there on the putting greens.
Yeah. Yeah.
He played him a lot better than his score.
The ball striking guys are great for Showdown.
Mhm.
Like the Grios, the Davises, like all those guys, they can pop.
Because you don't need their
So,
putter to be good for 72 holes. You just need that wonderful 18 holes from them.
and like I'm driving myself crazy with these Showdown picks because I feel like I have been very cold this week. It's hard to know what one person's going to do on a single round of golf. Like you try to get all the information,
Well, I think you're
but
crazy.
it's
Like you do a lineup or maybe a few lineups.
three.
I have to go multi-entry here because um, like your picks for yeah, you're getting all kinds of funny going on there.
So yeah, sorry
Um,
guys, I got tech issues tonight. I apologize for that.
just roll with it. What was I going to say? Yeah, your picks for Friday. I played them all on Saturday. Well, not all of them. I didn't play Tringali, but I played Gim. I played Bryson. And sorry, you're distracting me. And they were great plays.
I'm
Like
sorry, man.
they can be the
This is
right
awkward
play
for
even
me.
on the wrong day.
Let's make our picks and get out of here. Maybe
Okay, sounds good. Okay, picks to win.
I'm in WandaVision right now and I don't know how.
Let's see them in the chat. We'll get. They can still hear you. So just
Yeah.
let me know what your pick to win is. What your score is.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna go with the obvious answer. I'm gonna go Bryson. I don't think scoring is gonna be that hard. I'm gonna go Bryson at 14 under.
You don't think it's going to be that hard? I'm going to go Lee Westwood, and I'm going to go Lee Westwood at, yeah, I'll say 14 as well. I'll say he goes -3 and he holds off challengers.
I would love to see that. I really would. And I
That's
have no
oh, so
stake at all.
my head is saying Bryson. My heart is saying Lee Westwood.
I would also love a Tom. I would love a Tommy comeback, but as a fan, I just don't have faith.
Yeah, he's a ways back, isn't he?
He's at 8. I mean, yeah, it is a ways, but big
Yeah,
numbers.
it's a little bit. I mean, it's not so far that it's. Yeah, I would love to see Connors, um, but I don't know. I feel like Connors just stresses me out every time he's standing over top of a 4-foot putt.
Yeah, I think any of the guys that you typically get, this is in reply to Barry, any of the guys you typically get above 8,500 pre-tournament are always a good play in Showdown
Yeah.
because they're good golfers. They're gonna have good rounds. Hey, I might be back.
Oh, he's back.
I'm back. So yeah, Barry, absolutely, Sung Jae. Yes. I don't know exactly how he did today. I don't have it in front of me, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Sanjay is a horse for the course for sure. I think it sounds like you are still having some issues over there, so I think we
Yeah.
should get out of here.
Yeah.
Let us know below who you guys like to win and the score. And yeah, good luck tomorrow. Finish out this week well. Let's see some green for the week. Um,
And our download our podcast, Grandstand Golf, wherever you get your podcast. That's where we do our full tournament recap. It's really good.
if I do say so myself.
Yeah.
Yep. Good luck, guys. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.